What's going on, my beautiful geek culture? As always, I'm your boy O, and today it is time for a Peacemaker update. No, not a review. I refuse to watch this garbage. However, I have no problem reporting on this performance. It is time to answer a question. Did James Gunn's Superman help the show, or did it hurt it? That's right. Things are about to get a little bit spicy, baby. All here today on the 4KO. All right, here's what we're talking about. This article is coming from cosmicbooknews.com. It is titled Peacemaker Ratings Tank, Proving James Gunn's Superman Doesn't Matter. Now look, before you turn into a mute monkey and type some BS into my comment section, understand this. The 4KO did not write this article. Yeah, I'm going to give you the facts on why this situation has occurred, but if you have a problem with what I'm talking about, you need to take it up with the author, not the 4KO. But if you come at me, just know I'm about that life. All right, let's go. James Gunn said the reason Superman was released early on VOD was because he wanted it out before Peacemaker Season 2. Yeah, he refused to accept that his film was outright rejected. All right, I don't understand what this guy is telling himself behind closed doors. You know, I released a video. I did one the other day, 300 views. Back to back, 300 views, right? Well, one got 400 views, the other got 300 views. Guess what? I ain't mad at y'all. I ain't saying it's your fault. Maybe that isn't the conversation you want to have. James Gunn should take a note from that, which he described as a direct sequel to his Superman movie, but the numbers tell a different story. It was reported that Peacemaker Season 2 opened strong with a 22% boost in viewership compared to Season 1, but despite that supposed bump, not a single episode has shown up on Nielsen's streaming chart. That's the real metric used across the industry, and its absence suggests that the show's ratings are weak. If Superman fans were actually tuning in, the series would be charting weekly. Instead, the silence is hard to ignore. Peacemaker ratings are actually so low, they don't make the chart. It shows there's no real demand. Gunn's Superman may have made headlines and an okay box office, but it doesn't appear to be driving subscribers or viewership for DC content on streaming. The explanation that Superman was released early on VOD for Peacemaker Season 2 don't add up. All right, that's all we need to get from that. Now let's look at the chart here. We're on episode 3 by this time, September the 1st, September the 7th, and it ain't showed up. It ain't showed up. You got Wednesday, My Life, no Peacemaker. No Peacemaker. In fact, we have nothing from HBO Max at all. You hear what I'm saying? Now, let me tell you why this has occurred. For one, James Gunn's Superman did not help Peacemaker. You heard that 22% boost in viewership, but you fail to realize that HBO Max's subscription base has grown over time. All right, that was not the result of Superman, even though they wanted to put that in the headline. Yeah, Superman helped Peacemaker. Its viewership boosted up 22%, which was not much. Okay, I could see 100%, I could see 80%, but 22%, that's a minimum number, right? 22%, come on now. That ain't nothing. But they reported on it like it was something excellent when they knew damn well that it was still failing. All right, now, James Gunn's Superman did hurt Peacemaker as well. Why? For one, Superman is tonally for children. However, it sends mixed messages. Okay, right? So for those out there who are adults, maybe Superman turned them off a little bit. And then they may have gotten into Superman, you know, say, hey, I can accept this. But when you go and watch Peacemaker Season 2, it's like, oh, hell no. This is very disturbing. You know, we got Killer Croc and Dr. Phosphorus up in there banging each other. You know, they booze, prison booze, and all that there. So for those people out there who enjoy Superman for being light, Peacemaker got hurt by that. For those out there who enjoy Superman for just being a great superhero film, Peacemaker may have suffered from that because that show is garbage. All right, alongside the storytelling, everything about it is bad. Everybody talking about John Cena's acting. No, all of that is trash. All of it is trash. Then you got James Gunn, the guy who refused to admit when he has done something wrong. All right, all of that has hurt Peacemaker. The show was not all of that big in the first place. If you ask me, if it wasn't for James Gunn being the head of DC Studios, you have never gotten a season 2 because he refused to admit that he has failed. Okay? That is the problem. So, where can I say this? My conclusion is that James Gunn is the problem. His Superman, his tone, his direction, all of that is a problem. If DC actually felt like DC, we would not be in this situation. We would not be in this situation. If he actually took these characters seriously and not the way that he's taking them, things will be better. Now here it is. We have a Nielsen chart, top 10, a show that's on a subscription-based program such as Max with over 130 million subscribers isn't even watching it. In fact, this is very reminiscent of James Gunn's Superman overseas box office numbers. People are outright rejecting it. It's right there in your face. You ain't got to take it from the 4KO. Take it for yourself. The numbers don't lie. All right. It doesn't matter how you may feel about something. You have to understand when it has failed. All right. James Gunn's Superman did not move the needle. His Creature Commandos did not move the needle. And here it is, Peacemaker. How many underperformances do you need before you come to the determination that it's not working? And that goes for those out there who's all about supporting this, right? And James Gunn himself. How long are you willing to go until you throw in the towel? At this very moment, DC continues to take L's. That's how I feel. Now, before I get out of here, we got an update. Supergirl, a secret meeting of the next DCU movie was held for James Gunn's trusted DC stable. That is a problem. That's a problem. Now, you cannot trust this source because they are saying that it is a good film. That's the problem. You are viewing this movie to people that you trust. People who's not going to tell you when you're wrong. All right. At this very moment, DC doesn't have a future. What I see from Supergirl is another flop, ladies and gentlemen. I don't believe anything about what these people are saying about Supergirl being good because all of them have something to gain. James Gunn is the head of DC Studios. Everybody looking for a position over there at this very moment.